As a 21-year-old who has manifested some pretty decent stuff at this age, I will tell you right now, manifestation is a very real thing. I've found that there are creators out there that have acknowledged the fact that manifestation is not a real thing. People have gotten successful without manifesting. Now, while that may be true, I will tell you right now, that does not mean that manifestation does not work. Manifestation is extremely real, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how you can use this in your own lives. The law of assumption was founded by Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard was a man of humble beginnings. Born in 1905, he was raised in poverty and his family struggled to make ends meet. But despite these challenges, Neville was a curious child who loved to read and learn. As a young man, Neville moved to New York City in search of a better life. He worked odd jobs to make ends meet, but never lost his passion for learning. One day, he stumbled upon a lecture by a man named Abdullah, who had changed Neville's life forever. Abdullah was a mystical teacher who taught Neville the secrets of the universe. He taught Neville about the powers of the mind and the law of assumption. According to Abdullah, our beliefs and assumptions shape our reality. We can manifest our desires by changing our thoughts and our beliefs. Neville was very hesitant at believing this fundamental when Abdullah first taught it to him, but something about those teachings really stuck with him the entire time. He started to take the law of assumption very serious and began to try to apply it to his own life. He would spend hours visualizing his desired outcomes and imagining himself living in a state of abundance and success. Over time, Neville's life began to change. He landed a job as a dancer on Broadway and started to attract opportunities and tons of abundance into his life. He realized that the law of assumption had transformed his life and helped him achieve his goals and desires. So this really got me thinking. I'm 21 years old. I have a lot of things that most 21-year-olds don't have. I have decent money. I have a house here in San Diego County, and it made me question, how did I attain this? I realized that when I was much younger, I would visualize success. I would always think of myself already successful before I was ever even close to being successful. I had this version in my head that I always wanted to become, and I remember I would just kind of fantasize about it all the time and fantasize about this life that I've always wanted to live. And now I started doing that like 3 years ago, and I already have all these tangible things around me. Now, I will tell you right now, I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, but ultimately what led me to where I'm sitting at in this chair with all these things in my life, it started with a thought. It started with fantasizing and imagining that I was already this person, that I already had these things, and that it was no question that they were going to manifest into my life. If you're the person that simply just does not believe in yourself and you do not see yourself attaining these things, and your thoughts are everything besides success, maybe you're just thinking of other random things that have nothing to do with success. Do you really think you're going to be successful? Probably not, because your thoughts are in the wrong areas. Here's the crazy part. Your mind cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. So by imagining things in your mind believes them to be already true. When you start thinking of certain things, your mind works subconsciously and consciously to start thinking of ways of how to attain whatever it is that you want in your life. If you assume that you're not good enough to achieve anything in this world, your mind will start to produce limiting beliefs. Your mind will start to produce fear, doubt, all these things that you don't need to be successful. The same fundamental will apply vice versa to that. So how can you use the law of assumption to your advantage? The first thing you need to do is identify all of your limiting beliefs. Really spend time and really pay attention to everything that's going on in your mind right now. On a daily basis, what are you thinking? Are you having limiting beliefs? If you're having limiting beliefs, ask yourself, where are they stemming from? Are they stemming from places of fear, insecurities? Are they stemming from places because you have never taken action and you just don't believe that's something you could attain? And as you identify these limiting beliefs, you have to question every single one of them. Ask yourself if there's real evidence to support that limiting belief or if it's just your mind playing tricks with you. The next thing you would want to do is actually start creating new assumptions for your life. You're never going to be successful if you're just telling yourself all these negative things. So in order for you to actually start achieving success, you have to start changing the way you think. You have to switch up your thought process. Start thinking things that are more positive, things that will influence you to take more action. The most successful people are the ones who are able to maintain a good balance between optimism and realism. The people that you notice that are not successful are the ones who are pessimists, the ones who are just constantly thinking of issues with no solutions, who are constantly creating these limiting barriers, constantly creating these obstacles that they tell themselves they will never be able to overcome. So if you're a pessimist, you need to start shifting over to being an optimist. That takes practice, that takes time, but ultimately it starts by identifying your limiting beliefs and creating new assumptions to replace those limiting beliefs with. The third thing you need to start doing, guys, this one's huge: visualization. Visualize your goals. Visualize yourself attaining those goals. Visualize yourself in the home you want to be in. Visualize yourself in the car you want to drive. Now, there's a fine line between just imagining things and not taking action versus imagining things and actually taking action, guys. You can't expect to just use your imagination and everything to fall into your lap one day. You actually have to take action. You have to move forward. You have to be working while you're doing these things. I visualize every single day. When I am taking my 30-minute drive to my job, I am thinking of my Honda being a fucking Lamborghini. I am imagining myself in the house that I drive past. I am imagining the ideal version of myself that I want to become. I'm imagining what that person looks like. I'm imagining how that person walks, how muscular he is, how successful he is, what types of clothes he wears. Guys, when you start filling your brain with these types of thoughts every single day, almost as if you're obsessing over them, you will become that person. It's only a matter of time as long as you're taking action. Just last weekend, I toured a $4 million house here in San Diego County. It was literally my dream home. I had never been in a house this expensive before in my entire life, but going there was life-changing. You have to normalize being around these things. You have to normalize putting yourself in environments and telling yourself like, hey, it's gonna happen one day. I'm going to be here. This is what I'm working towards. You are giving yourself subconsciously a target to aim for. I remember that night that I went to bed after touring that home, and this is not a lie, dude. I can't even make this up. I'm sleeping in bed, and I remember I woke up like 2 or 3 times that night, and I literally got up and I was like, what can I do to get that home? What business do I need to start? Guys, I'm not even lying. Like, my subconscious brain was already thinking of ways while I was sleeping on how I could attain that home. Guys, visualization is so powerful. You have no idea. You can become whatever you want to become, but everything starts with the mind. Every successful person understands this. If you guys see another video of people telling you, don't believe in manifestation, don't believe in the law of assumption, it's a bunch of bullcrap. Like, guys, everybody has became successful in their own way. Okay, just because somebody did not use the law of assumption does not mean that you cannot use it. The only way I can truly see this harming you is if you just spend your entire day visualizing and utilizing the law of assumption, but you don't take any action. All you do is just sit there and close your eyes and you tell yourself like you're gonna attain all these things, but in reality, you're not doing anything to attain it. That is literally the only way that this law will harm you in your life, when it is used incorrectly. But that is the final step. Take action. Take massive action. As you're doing all these things we just talked about, take massive action. The law of assumption has gotten me to where I'm at in my life, and it could definitely help you get started with whatever you're gonna do. I think this is a lifelong law that you need to follow diligently every single day. For me, this is a non-negotiable. I'm going to continue to utilize this law. Whatever it is you want in this world, you can have, as long as you continue to take action and continue to manifest. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.